Hello, San Luis Obispo. This is Thomas Rodda here with some journalism out here in San Luis Obispo. Just gonna see if I got about 45 minutes before work. It's a nice cloudy day on the 26th of December. We're gonna see if we can, out here get some opinions going. All right, let's get it. All right, how you doing today, sir?
I'm doing good. What about you?
I'm doing good. Just got
Alright.
off Christmas break.
Yeah.
Christmas itself. Spent a nice dinner with my family.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, us too. Yeah.
Any issues that you want to bring up today? Anything?
Issues. I came here yesterday looking for ice cream, but it was closed. So that was pretty bummer. We came all the way from Hayward. I don't know if you know where that is.
I'm not quite familiar. Where is that?
You know San Jose?
Oh, yeah.
Around there. Like 30 minutes from there.
Yeah, I've been there before.
Oh, have you?
2 miles up, or no, 2 miles.
2 hours. 2 hours,
up,
yeah. So what about you? What are your opinions, or anything that you want to talk about?
Probably, I know a big one lately has been housing in SLO County.
Okay.
How it can be a bit too expensive.
Right.
For some lower.
Yeah, no rent control. Yeah.
And I know that there's been a rise in the homeless problem. They're trying to address it now, but there are some concerns that it might be that maybe the county doesn't quite care enough to deal with those issues. What are your thoughts on that?
No, I agree with you. I feel like we have same views on that too. I mean, there's a lot of resources that they could use, to help homeless. And not just homeless, people like in general, like low income people or low income families. I feel like they rather spend their monies or just like their money using like in other places or other things that could fund housing, like you said, or food, or just make shelters better. What about you? How do you think they should address that problem, like homelessness?
Well, first of all, to be nice to everyone, care. And if you see someone out on the street, help. And not just pass there, act like they don't exist.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
We need to
Just
address
a helping hand, yeah.
Address these issues and not pretend like they're people who don't matter.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like people tend to do that a lot. Literally, it was just like a homeless over there, and a lot of people just kept walking past him like he didn't even exist, like you said.
Yeah, there's some I've seen before, people just sleeping on the sidewalk.
Yeah, and we're luckily blessed that that we haven't gone through that, and that we see it happening. So we've helped in the past where we lived in our little town, and we got out give food and stuff, and it feels good too. I don't know, I feel like a lot of people should do it, and they should see what comes with it, all the happiness, all the blessings that comes with it from helping somebody.
Right, it's the season of giving.
Exactly. Yeah.
If there's any other issues you want to talk about, I could bring up how they just instated the Respect for Marriage Act between gay people. What's your thoughts on that?
I'm a Catholic,
right.
So our religion has a lot to do with my point of views. I respect that. They're human beings, but it's just a really sensitive topic. My point of views might not be the same as yours or as other people. So, me, my family and I are just stick to what we know and what we think is good or, best for our family. And like I said, we respect others and then, let them live their lives however they can, however they want. And then that's our point of view.
Yeah, just the way I see it is, you live your life, I live mine. If we have respect for each other, I think society.
Yeah, and I feel like that's a good point that you just made right now. But I feel like, I don't know if you noticed that they're trying to put agendas in kids' schools, telling them about gay marriage, or they could choose their own gender. and that's fine, like I said, people can live their own lives or whatever, but I feel like if people are not up for that, like they shouldn't be like shoved down their throats like, hey, this is what we want to teach kids, like nowadays and stuff. So I mean, like
Do you think a good solution for that would be parental waiver forms?
yes, I think that would be perfect, since like especially now today, where people are more like free, I guess, in a way. So I think that you're right, like parental, like approve,
But then, in another sense, you could say that since it is a part of our society, like homosexuals, that it would be beneficial for the new generation to learn more about them and be able to.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying don't teach it at all. I'm just saying, like, be mindful and be careful as well. Like I said, like, my family's Catholic, so our point of views might be a bit different than somebody else, but they might not have the resources to put their kids through a private school or a Catholic school, which it's different upbringings, and we've seen it with her. Like, she was in a public school before, and how long you been there? 2 years now in Catholic school. So now that she's been in a Catholic school, like, we've seen like a major performance, like she's more focused on her school, what is that, like religion studies, like we seen it. It's just like a major difference. So we experienced the public school system and then the private school system, and it's obviously a big difference. So like I said, and kind of like the point that you brought, it should be more like parental approved for some people, and then some others, they might, unfortunately, they might not care at all, I guess. So it just depends on families, but I'm just saying, like in general, I think it should be like more careful, like who they show it to, because it's hard to explain to a 5-6 year old, be like, hey, so this is what gay marriage is, and then they're gonna be like all confused.
Right.
So
would you say that there's a huge difference in between explaining to a child what heterosexual marriage is versus what gay marriage might be? Like, because I know people say like, oh, it's like perverting the mind of the child if you're explaining to them like man.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm just saying, like, it's like confusing them, like, because I've seen this video last time, and they were like, hey, what gender do you identify as? And the guy was like, hey, he's like, at this day and age, anybody can identify whatever they want, but he's like, I know one thing, that once all of us are extinct and then they like dig us up, they're only gonna find two genders, it's a female and a male. And then I feel like, I mean, it's true, no matter how many surgeries you go through or whatever, you're still what you're born as, But like I said, that's just my opinion. And then, whatever other people want to think, like, they're more welcome to. It doesn't affect me, because, I believe on my beliefs. And that's that.
All right. Would you want me to bring up another topic, or do you think we are winding down here?
Sure, if you want, yeah, whatever.
All right. With the midterm elections having come and gone, are there any opinions you'd like to express, either gratitude or sorry?
I don't think I have any like opinions on that, just because I haven't been like too on that topic. Like, I just go whatever it is, because I can't vote. I'm not I'm not a U.S. citizen. I'm just a resident, so I can't vote. So either way, I still have to go with whatever they choose. So I guess I conform with that. So yeah.
All right. It's been great talking
All right,
with you
thank
here
you.
today.
What was your name?
My name is Thomas Rodda. I'm
Thomas
the
Rodda.
editor-in-chief for the Westonian newspaper.
Okay, cool.
And did I get your name?
Fabian Argueta.
All right.
From Hayward, California.
Hayward.
Yes, sir. What about you? What's your name?
Aina Argueta, also
There you go.
from Hayward, California.
All right. It's been a pleasure
All right.
talking with you.
Hey,
too.
nice meeting you.
Hope you have a great rest of your day.
You too. All right, have a good one.
You too. All right, we're here in the middle of downtown. Let's see if we can get anybody who wants to share their opinions. And the floor is yours to talk about anything you want.
I thought it was an interview. I don't really have a subject to talk about.
All right. Well, if you wanted to start, I could give you a few topics.
Okay.
So what would be your opinion on, say, the homelessness issue in Sill County?
It needs to be fixed.
Yeah.
It is getting out of control.
Would you-
But we're out here by our own choices.
yeah.
Some of us literally choose to be out here. Others just made bad choices.
Would you say that perhaps it's an issue of mental health?
I'd say that's an issue,
Yeah.
but no more so amongst the homeless than it is amongst the housed.
And then, would you say that an increase in social services, like say increased amounts of food banks or
No,
education opportunities would help?
Increased education opportunities, yes. An increase in handouts or social services, as people call them, no.
No.
It just makes people reliant on them and unable to take care of themselves.
Okay. So what would you say would be a way that people could encourage people in poor financial situations to take care of themselves?
I'm not sure there really is an actual workable solution.
You know?
A lot of it is mental health or drug addiction issues, and those need to be dealt with in one way. Then there's people that just choose to live like this. Like myself, for the most part, I'm clean and sober at this point in life. I don't have any major mental health issues. I choose to be out here doing my artwork instead of getting a 9-to-5 job.
All right.
And the consequences are I have a little bit less security, but the freedom to do what I want to do is what makes me happy.
Right. That's all that's all any of us are trying to do out here is just trying to be happy. That's right.
I think understanding is more necessary than helping. As far as what could be done, the institutional system did work. We used to have mental health hospitals and facilities that people were committed to if they could not be left on their own. We don't have that anymore.
And would you say that's a good or a bad thing?
I'd say it's a good thing when we have them, because there's a lot of people that don't want to change their situation. They don't mind being a problem and just being a drain on the system. But if that's what they're going to be, they don't need to be out here running around, because they're just problems for everybody else.
And then, what do you think, as these drains on society, as you would call them, what do you think should perhaps happen to them, or how should the problem be dealt with?
Something akin to the asylum system that we used to have.
You think so?
I don't like to say it, but yeah, it worked then. Yes, it was abused in certain instances, but everything's going to be abused. There is no perfect solution.
Yeah.
Education is a big part of it, though. Teaching people to take care of themselves, to be able to take care of themselves instead of relying on that government handout all the time. Which we all rely on that government handout. We want the quick, easy way with the least effort.
And moving on to any other topics, I only have about two that I would want to talk about, but have you followed the midterm elections at all?
Not really.
No? So no comment on that?
Not broadly on. If you were to ask about certain subjects, I'm sure I've heard a little bit about various parts of it, but no overall comments, no.
And because I know recently the Biden administration was able to pass the Respect for Marriage Act. What are your thoughts on that?
My thoughts would get me branded as a bigot, so I try not to say them, because I don't believe it's being bigoted to have an opinion.
Right.
I'll stand up for anybody's right to believe or do what they want in this country, but that doesn't mean I agree with what they think.
Right.
And being forced to pretend I agree does not sit well with me. as far as same-sex marriage, intersex marriage, or whatever 3 million genders people want to pretend there are, doing whatever, what do people do in their bedroom is up to them.
Correct.
I don't want to see it or hear it on the street, whether it's heterosexual, homosexual, bisexual, whatever. I don't want to see it on the street. But that's going to make me sound like a bigot.
But I'd say the direction you're sort of turning it is you don't want to see sort of like increased affection shown like out in public. Is that what I'm understanding? Or celebrations of it? Or what's the word? What's the word when you display something to
Public displays of affection.
displays?
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of it, no. But I'm just one person, one opinion. And like I said, I don't agree with it, but I'll still stand up for people's rights to it. So long as the majority votes for it, I will stand up for their right to do it. I just won't sit there and say I agree with it.
All right. Is there anything else that you'd like to talk about, or any closing thoughts?
Not really. Just the biggest thing in any category any of us can do to help each other is to try and understand the other person's side of it.
Trying to unify both sides of a division, as some would
No,
say.
no. Just understand. Not even worry about unifying.
Oh,
I don't want everybody to be the same.
correct.
I would hate that. It's the differences that make us special.
Yeah.
Just understanding the other person's side of things, whatever the situation, would make it easier, I think, all around.
All right. I think that was some great closing thoughts. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
All right, sir. It's great to be with you here today. Your name is Adrian Spears.
Yes.
Thomas Rodda, here for a street interview.
Mm-hmm. Is this
there
a
any,
school? Is this a school project?
Yes, it's for the school newspaper, the Western College of Western.
Oh, okay. And you're the what?
I'm the editor-in-chief for the school newspaper.
Oh, okay.
So just to start, is there any particular topics you'd like to talk about, or would you like for me to come up with some for you?
Probably be better for you to come up with something for me because, yeah.
Okay. So just first off, I'd like to talk about recently there have been concerns about rising house prices in SLO County, and additionally a problem with homelessness.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think SLO County could do anything to further address that problem or do some things to help?
Well, I'm sure they can. It's a matter of if they want to or not. See, unfortunately, the world is just the politicians and everybody's out for themselves, so they don't really give a damn about I feel that they don't really give a damn about the homeless people. Just think about it. In America, there's more homeless people in America than any other country. And how in the hell is that supposed to be when we're supposed to be the richest country in the world, most powerful country, greatest country in the world, but we have more homeless people than any other country put together. So that right there tells you it's by design. It ain't no accident. It's a whole lot of homeless people because that's the way they want it. Otherwise, they'd fix it. And they can find a way to fix it to where, they could get something out of it. There's some type of way that they could, fix that, I believe. But that's just my personal opinion.
And do you think that that help could come more in different forms, like lowering rent prices or increasing social services or improving mental health services?
All that, especially the mental health. There's a lot of unfortunately, mental people with mental health issues right now, and they ain't getting no help. There's a real young girl that's over there by Emerson Park all the time. That's always where she's always at. She don't never go nowhere. People bring her food and stuff right there, but she's real scary and timid. She always has a hoodie over her head. She won't let you look at her face. If you offer her money, she won't even. You have to sit it down, and then she'll pick it up when you leave. She's real, just super shy. But it's a whole bunch of that going around. So yeah, They could do a lot of stuff. Hopefully they will one day. Hopefully we'll get somebody in office that actually do what the hell they say they're going to do, instead of just promising us. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I for sure know what you mean. And do you think that this, by design, way of keeping people in poverty, keeping people in homeless, would you say that that's a result of people wanting to hoard wealth and stay in power?
Of course, it's it's been that way from the beginning. I'm pretty sure. There's no way I could prove it, but I bet you, the oldest. You know how they have old sayings or cliches or whatever. I bet you one of the oldest ones in the whole world is divide and conquer. I bet you that's like number 1 or number 2. I bet you that. I bet you that's the oldest saying ever. That's just the way it is. Just think about it. That's why they like to start wars every once in a while. It's big money in wars. Ain't no money in no damn peace. That's unfortunate, but you know, if you're about the money, then that's all you care about. You don't care about nobody dying, homeless. So goddamn what? I need to get my billions of dollars, and that's just how they think.
And then, because I know that like mental health services in this country, they were pretty bad back in the 50s, 60s, 70s.
Who services?
What?
What services?
Mental health services.
Oh yeah.
Because they used to have mental asylums where they would just like torture people or
experiment on them and give them all kind of shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Try this pill and see how that works.
And then they got rid of the mental asylums with the Reagan era, but they didn't replace it with anything. And now the cost for medications and therapists is almost like through the roof. I think we could definitely see some improvement in those areas. And additionally, the second topic I wanted to talk about, with the midterms coming to a close and a lot of the politicians seeing their securing their spots and everything regarding that, is there anything specific you'd like to comment on?
On what now again?
In the midterm elections?
Yeah.
Is there anything you'd like to comment on regarding anyone you've seen come into office or leave office that you're excited or disappointed about?
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. When it comes to politicians, man, they lie so much and make all kind of promises, and they keep doing it, and they keep getting voted for. I don't really keep up on that kind of stuff. I just find out what it is. Like, once somebody gets elected or whatever, I say, okay, that's what we got now. Because they keep doing the same shit. That's all they do, is tell you what they're gonna do. Make real nice speeches, get everybody hollering, screaming, and clapping, and then they don't do shit except rob the whole city or the town or the state blind. That's what I see.
Certainly.
See, what we need is somebody in there that got millions and billions of dollars already, and they're not a greedy person. That's what we need. Or somebody that gets in there and they didn't have no whole bunch of money, but they get in there and they're not going for no bribes. They're going to do what they say, and they're going to stick to it. Those are the only two things I can see it working. Because unfortunately, people, I can't even say, maybe, I don't think I would, but say I'm on the straight and narrow now, but then I get elected, and then people start offering me bribe money and all kind of shit. I can't even say for sure that I wouldn't. I don't think I would, but you can never tell once that carrot is dangled in front of your face, and they get to tell you how much money you can get out of this. A lot of people change their outlook on stuff.
The aspect of philosophy that greatly intrigues me is the question of, does power corrupt, or does it just turn people into...
Now that's a good one. Now that's what I would say. I would have to go with the last one. Is if you just turn people to who they really are. Because, for example, look at you remember Al Capone, the gangster, right? You heard of him before. Well, back in the days, he was doing so much shit and killing so many people and bribing all the judges and the mayors, the politicians, and everybody, that they finally, the public outcry, they got tired of his ass. So they formed with Elliot Ness. Now, Elliot Ness and all the people that he had on his staff, You couldn't give them $10 million in a room full of hookers and bribe them. They're not going for it. In other words, he's got him a special team to where they just wasn't going for it. You ain't gonna get them with no bribing them. They wasn't gonna go for it. That's how they finally got his ass. You got to get people that are. But so, like I said, the thing about it is, all those agents in LNS and them, they all got bribed. I mean, they tried to bribe them, but like I said, it just wasn't in them. They weren't those type of people. So I think the people that went ahead and turned over and finally just took the money, that's just because it was always in you. You had it in you all along. To me, I think maybe it's like a virus or something. You always had it. You just got to bring it out of you. If you're really like that, once people start offering you a whole bunch of money, hey, player, you're going to go for that.
Yeah.
If that's who you really are deep down.
I know that's an exercise I do within myself.
Yeah.
Trying to imagine myself, like, if I had all this power, if I had all this money, telling myself that
I would do the right thing, I believe.
that always a constant exercise of trying to make sure you tell yourself that you would do the right thing.
Yeah.
And then on to the third question, this will be the last question. Recently, I believe the Biden administration passed the Respect for Marriage Act.
Mm-hmm.
What would be your thoughts on this?
Marriage what? Marriage to anybody you mean? Like man or woman you mean?
Yeah.
Oh, no, that whatever. See, my thing on that is all of us, one thing that is in common with whoever, black, white, Mexican, brown, whatever, we all gonna die one day. So I have to worry about all the dirty shit I did, or all the stuff I did, or all the wrong I did, or whatever my problem or whatever is. I don't have time to be worried about what your sexual preference is, or who you have sex with, or what you like, or that's none of my damn business. I think people should worry about their own damn business instead of worry about somebody else. If you want to marry another woman and you a woman, or a man or another man, that's your damn business. That's your total right to do that. Just be happy and be nice to your mate, whether it's a he or she or whoever y'all are.
Because I definitely, it's definitely a thing where you're not hurting anybody.
No, you're not hurting nobody.
And so
Yeah.
people try to say it's either a religious thing or a moral thing that they don't agree
Well,
with.
my 5-year-old daughter that just turned 5 2 days on the 27th, she is being adopted and raised by, hey, what's up, boss? By a lady couple. Yeah, by a lady couple. And they're the nicest, they're in the best. I wouldn't want them nowhere else. So, yeah, I don't have a problem with it.
Certainly. All right. That about wraps up my questions.
Mhm.
Thank you for your time.
You're
Is
welcome.
there any lasting remarks you'd like to say?
No.
Hello, Questonian. This is Thomas Rodda. I'm here with Joshua Dollins, here for a street interview. Would you like me to provide you with some topics? Or do you
Yeah.
have some topics?
Yeah, sure.
All right. So the first topic I wanted to talk about is rent prices as well as homelessness in San Luis Obispo County. Do you think that there's anything that San Luis Obispo could further do to help the problem?
As far as I know, because I was here recently in housing, and I gained housing through a corporation called TEMA. And all TEMA wanted me to do were just a few necessary hoops to basically jump through in order to get it put on the list. Most of the homeless around here, the ones that you see walking up and down the streets and got backpacks like mine, they're not willing to jump through the hoops that it takes in order to gain the privileges of having a place to live. They just rather assume live out here on the streets and not have to pay anybody for anything except for what they have to eat and whatever their vice may be. Personally myself, I'm in a strange area in my life, and like I said, I recently had housing, but I was unable to cope with my roommates, and by doing so, my reactions to certain things were they were aggressive, but they weren't violent, and so that's how I ended up losing my housing. is because the cops were called one too many times. But as far as San Luis Obispo goes about addressing the homeless, they're doing a great job. I mean, they're doing a better job than what a lot of people think they are doing. They provided the motels for us during COVID when they needed it. They have these boxes out on the streets. This may be just a community, but even the community, they have the boxes out on the streets with food in them, and they get filled every Tuesday and Thursday. So we have that. So not only is the city, but they have their own community that actually addresses the homelessness as well, because they bring out on certain days, they come out with food. They make pancakes, or on Sunday they come out and they just spread love. So as far as what can San Luis Obispo do, I think they're already doing a great job in addressing the homelessness. It's the homeless that need to address their situation, is what I think. And the homeless need to take an account of to what's being offered out here, and take hold and seize of what's being offered, because San Luis can offer as many programs as they want. They can offer the best of everything, but some people just won't take it. They just rather choose to live the life that they've lived for so long, that that's all that they see deemed worthy. At least that's how I'm feeling a bit, that all that stuff is out of the people that, or myself, I just feel all that's out of reach for me, because I've lost so much in my life that I'm in a strange spot, because I'm experiencing things for the first time in a new way that lead my thinking in a different direction than it used to be, because I was never aware of just exactly how big this world or universe is, and there are things that are outside of what our possibility of our thinking can be. But as far as San Luis goes, my opinion is San Luis is doing a great job, and I'm glad it was me that got to say something and help San Luis in what they're doing, because they've already done a great job. As far as many homeless people that I've seen, the amount of homeless people that I've seen out on the streets, per se, whenever I first got out of jail 11, 12 years ago, is far less than what I've seen in any amount of time that I've been out here homeless. And so they're doing something about it. The numbers prove it. The numbers prove by how many you see on the street. Now it may seem like, oh well, there's a lot of them downtown and everything. There may be. There's a certain group that come in a while back and they've been here, but as population in San Luis homeless goes, is dwindled down. So it shows that San Luis is actually doing something about it. They're not just laying idly by and allowing these things happen. It's us homeless that need to take into account is what this town offers us, and see it and decide if they want it and take it. And it's freely being given. It's just that you have to go through the necessary hoops and steps to get it. And there are some homeless that don't want it. They want to stay on the streets, and they just want to do terrible things to the businesses and things like that. And I understand how the business owners, how they react to the homeless around here. I totally fully understand it, because I see how they treat the business owners, what they do. Sure, even I'm not the best of people. I loiter out in front of their places and things like that. It's one. Okay, maybe they already offered that. That's Prado Day Center. I was going to say they could offer something on a spot, but they offer Prado Day Center. And Prado Day Center, from what I understand, is really laxed on their policies, not like they used to be. They used to be so hardcore about their policies, no one could ever just go in and be there without somebody getting a write-up or something like that. But from what I hear, it's gotten pretty relaxed. And a person, if they have vices or whatever, it doesn't mean that they're going to go in and get tested for those vices. It just means that conduct yourself in a proper manner, and we won't have to enforce our policies if we just get some good people in here that want a place to stay. So, yeah, so San Luis is doing great as far as I'm concerned, and I'm homeless, and I see this, and it needs that one of us need to stand up and say exactly how good San Luis is doing as far as addressing the homeless.
And then, would you like me to provide you with any other questions?
No, that's fine.
All right. All right. Thank you for your time. This was Joshua Dollins, and I just wanted to say thank you for the interview.
No, you're welcome.
All right.